Okay, our first talk this morning is from Alfredo Colás, SVP of Sales and Marketing for IT, Digital Go-to-Market at Procter & Gamble, the world's largest consumer product goods company, home to some of the most famous brands such as Pampers, Tide, and Pantene. I met him last year and was blown away by the work that he and his teams have been doing, elevating the state of the technology practice across the entire P&G enterprise. Over 100 technologists are bringing technology capabilities to almost every geography and brand, reversing the effects of nearly a decade of centralizing those technology capabilities. He will talk about his remit and the programs that he's created. I am equally excited that Olimpia, Nitti, VP and CIO Global Baby Care, will be sharing their story of how they modernized the consumer-facing sites for Pampers, which is so familiar to expectant parents around the globe, to better achieve their brand goals and so much more. They have so many lessons that I think will be useful to technology leaders at all stages of the DevOps journey. Here is Alfredo and Olimpia.
Thank you so much for that introduction, and it's a pleasure to be here today with all of you and present P&G's DevOps Journey. My name is Alfredo Colás. I'm the Senior Vice President in charge of Sales and Marketing IT, as well as leading our Agile and DevOps transformation. It's a pleasure as well to have Olimpia with me, who is the CIO for Global Baby Care. I'm sure most of you know the P&G name, but just in case, here you have a few of our brands. I'm sure that all of you have at least one of them in your house, and most likely you have used it before joining this conference. Our company is 183 years young. We sell over $71 billion last year, and we have 100,000 employees that make sure that our products get sold in almost every single country in the world. From an organizational perspective, we are divided in 3 blocks. Sector business units take primarily a product view. That is where Olimpia is based as part of the baby and feminine care SVU. Then we have markets organizations, which are looking at the regional and the market footprint, the elements that are mostly driven from a country perspective. And last, we have shared services and corporate functions. That's what I embedded, part of corporate IT. However, our 3,500 IT employees are embedded across all and every one of these elements, and we all work together to maximize the value that is delivered to the company. As I think of our DevOps journey, it probably started somewhere in the 2010s. I'm sure someone got a copy of the DevOps handbook, but they really didn't go beyond the title of the books. We did consolidate our development and our operations organizations, but we didn't implement a lot of the other things that are described in the following chapters. That's what I call them the dino years. We were DevOps in name only. Towards the end of that decade, we had more and more teams that tried to sneak in Agile and DevOps into the company, but they faced increasing pressure from processes, policies, and culture that were not conducive to really these new practices. Fast forward to 2020, we have a new CIO appointed, Vittorio Cretella. He helped drive a new digital strategy, and as part of it, Agile and DevOps become a pivotal element to deliver value to the company faster. I guess I had complained enough about the challenges we were facing in my team that I was lucky enough to get the position to lead this transformation across the company. And as I started talking to a lot of people across all the different levels in the organization, I kind of encountered multiple opinions. There were those that said, hey, we don't have to change. We already have DevOps. Others said, hey, waterfall has worked well for us for the last 20 years. Why change? But I was really encouraged as I found more and more people that were passionate about challenging the norms, that wanted to do things differently, and that actually many of them were driving the change and making it happen. And this led our key choices. First of all, we wanted Agile teams to own their outcome measures. We wanted them to define their journeys. That is not something we were going to define centrally. At the same time, our Agile and DevOps solution teams, and that's the way we decided to call ourselves, we're going to own all the processes, all the tools underlying so that they can really focus on delivering value. we made sure that all those tools are integrated and work together in an easy manner. We also realized that we had to upskill the organization. We needed people to understand what Agile is and isn't, what DevOps is and isn't. And that's why I created a reward, and I would pay $100 to any employee that got an external certification on this topic. We also created some gaming effects, and we created this DevOps challenge that you can see here on the right. We had a survey with over 70 questions that they could go through and see where the areas where they were strong and the areas where they had opportunities. And this was great. It actually opened their eyes to new things that they could be doing and that they hadn't considered before. Last, we also created maturity points, which was a bit of a competition across the different teams, and encouraged them to try to become better, as nobody wants to be the last in a ranking. Last, we wanted to make sure everyone had a skin in the game. While corporate IT would be funding the resources and the cost of the platforms, we wanted to make sure that any variable cost would be paid by the Agile teams. This way, we ensure that they would only be bringing tools into the ecosystem that they would see as helpful in achieving their outcomes. Now, almost a year afterwards, we've made significant progress. We have over 120 teams that have self-declared themselves as Agile. We have over 300 external certifications since I announced the new rewards. We created a community of practice with over 900 members that are actively asking questions, helping each other, and advancing the journey of overall. We have also created an internal summit similar to the conference we